Welcome back to GearWire.com. I'm Bill Holland, and I'm here with Emulsion in his studio. And we're going to look at how he uses Native Instruments Core in production. Nate?
All right. Yeah, I use Core regularly in my studio, not really in the traditional way. I use it kind of for organizing my own sounds and patches, and I use it a lot as a controller and an editor because the knobs are really smooth, and it just works really well for a lot of the type of sounds I'm designing. I'll show it off here. I've got Core in on one sound on one of my channels, and what I've done is I've kind of picked attributes that are appropriate for this sound, and I've got it popped up here. What I've done is I have some knobs preset on this that I set up to combine multiple changes in the sound at once. So like filter, resonance, and an LFO will all be affecting the sound with one knob twist, and that sort of thing contributes a lot. Instead of individually programming all that stuff, I can just expressively play with it and do a few overdubs and get some good sounds. So I can show that off here. Let's see here. Just what we have is so we have a sound playing, and I can just bring up this rhythmic LFO and affect the way that it's changing the filter and resonance all with one knob twist, and it's super smooth, way different than you would get with a MIDI knob. Those effects alone are worth the price of the box, absolutely. I definitely do use it for categorizing and organizing my own sounds. One of the big problems with using soft synths for me has been they all save in different formats in different ways. If you want a pad, you have to figure out what synth you want to make that pad in first, and this way you can kind of step away from that and think about the type of sound rather than the type of synth, which is something that I've really enjoyed.
Now, does that integrate with VSTs that aren't made by Native Instruments?
It does, but it takes a little background work. You have to actually take the individual patches and save them again inside of Core, and it's not a lot of work, but it definitely can add up to an afternoon of saving presets. I stick to a lot of the Native Instruments stuff because it just seemed to dovetail really well with the Komplete, so it hasn't really been a problem for me. And also, if you're working with your own sounds, then it's basically exactly the same. Yeah, only when you're organizing presets does it slow you down.
All right, Nate, awesome. And thank you for showing us that. We'll be back with more from the studio of Emulsion in Chicago at GearWire.com in a little bit.